A single bite of food consumed after 6 p.m. requires 10 times the biological effort to process as a bite eaten before noon. This delay is tied to your internal clock. At sunrise, your brain spikes cortisol, which automatically dumps stored sugar into the bloodstream to prepare your body for the day. Eating late forces your body to churn out massive amounts of insulin all night to manage the intake. As this diagram shows, if that insulin wave hasn't receded by dawn, it collides directly with the morning cortisol sugar dump. This constant state of high insulin and chronic inflammation effectively forces the body to age while you sleep. Internal medicine specialist Dr. Annette Bosworth realized this insulin cycle was the hidden driver of modern disease, leading her to abandon standard corporate treatment protocols. She began treating impoverished, malnourished patients by fixing their underlying metabolic health, rather than prescribing expensive, lifelong pharmaceuticals. The response from the establishment was overwhelming. A state-led fraud investigation bankrupted her family and seized her clinic's assets. The state attorney general eventually charged her with 12 felonies over a signature anomaly on the political petition. A clerical error now carried a 24-year prison sentence. She eventually won her freedom, but the severity of the retaliation suggests a system willing to use any legal lever to remove a doctor who threatens its pharmaceutical dependence. Medicine 2.0 functions as a matching game, pairing synthetic pills to individual symptoms, while the patient's overall health continues to decline. Under this model, brain fog, high blood pressure, and cancer are treated as separate, isolated conditions, requiring different specialists and different drugs. The link between these conditions is an insulin surplus. In a high insulin state, your cells are physically blocked from flushing out toxic biological debris. When insulin levels stay high from modern diets, your body's natural waste disposal system remains locked, allowing chronic disease to breed beneath the surface. Dr. Boz saw the stakes of this metabolic lock firsthand when her own mother faced terminal cancer. Standard chemotherapy promised only a 30% reduction. She looked to the Warburg effect, the discovery that cancer cells rely almost exclusively on glucose to survive, while healthy cells possess an alternative fuel system. By entering a strict ketogenic state, she trained the body's glucose, forcing the liver to ignite a cleaner fuel called ketones. This metabolic shift targets the tumor's environment. Ketones fuel healthy tissue, leaving glucose-dependent cancer cells nothing to consume. In 6 weeks, her mother's cancer markers dropped by 70%. Switching the body's fuel source starved the metabolic environment that allowed the tumors to persist. In the brain, this same insulin-driven waste accumulation manifests as cognitive decline, Parkinson's, and Alzheimer's. Dr. Boz applied the ketogenic switch to a 40-year-old Down syndrome patient with advanced Alzheimer's. The woman had not spoken more than 2 syllables in 41 years. Within 3 weeks of clearing out the thick glucose-fueled plaques, these new ketones began rapidly powering her dormant neurons back to life. The patient began speaking in full complex sentences, suggesting that what the system labels as irreversible decay is often an energy crisis in the brain. Mainstream nutritional guidelines preserve the metabolic environment that requires medical intervention. This wheel of good health anchors the human diet with the very carbohydrates that drive insulin higher. A patient named Jane challenged this balanced model by eating only sardines for 100 days to force a deep metabolic reset. Standard advice warns against these extremes, claiming plant fiber is the only path to gut health and survival. This data reveals the result of Jane's 100-day reset. Her insulin levels plummeted while her vitamin D surged, even without supplements. Mainstream nutritional advice keeps the patient in a cycle of chemical dependence. Reclaiming your health starts with taking control of your eating windows and cutting carbohydrates to drain your body's glycogen stores. The current medical establishment is designed to manage chronic symptoms, not to eliminate the cause. Lowering insulin and switching your metabolic fuel to ketones allows the body to starve the environment where chronic disease survives.